In today's video, I'm going to show you a coverage that most players would tell you never to run in Madden 23 or Madden 22 or Madden 21 or really ever because it is underutilized and it is undercoded by the development team.
Why do you sound surprised?
But it actually has some great utility when your opponents are actually high level. Let's get into it. What is up, guys? Zay from the Zay Madden YouTube channel, and in today's video we are going to explain the utility of cover 3 match on a high level. Yes, on a high level. We have talked before about cover 3 match, just generally speaking here, against like spread sets, like if you face someone that runs spread 2x2 and likes to run corner routes. But the actual utility of this particular coverage is as an audible in your favorite defense. Now, I am very big on running match coverage, whether it be cover 4 quarters, cover 4 palms, cover 6 trap, cover 6 invert, and cover 9. And I teach all of those match coverages to a science on my strategy website, gridirongameplans.gg. However, I do think it's really important that you mix in your audible set, no matter what you run on defense, a cover 3 match. Now let's go ahead and set this up to make this work for you. So the best way to go about this is to go into your coach adjustments, and we're going to do 2 particular things. The first is we're going to choose auto alignment, and we're going to set this to base, because what we want to do is line up our defenders in the same spot every single down. There's going to be tells in a cover 2 defense that are going to alert your opponent when you check from a cover 2 or maybe even a cover 4 into a cover 3. There's differences between a cover 4 and a cover 2 based off of where the outside corners line up. By turning auto alignment to base, this makes everything look the same in your defensive formation, which is so important for this, because when we check into this particular tip, you don't want your safeties to close center field, and we'll get to that momentarily. Now, the other thing that you want to do with this particular tip is turn your zone coverage setting to match. And the reason for this is that regardless of whether or not you want to come out in a zone coverage call or not, when we audible into today's tip, it is a match coverage. So you need to have this setting on or else it will not work. Once you've done these 2 coach settings, you want to make sure that you set a cover 3 match play as an audible. I've chosen cover 3 seam. The easiest way to tell whether or not a play is a match coverage play or a zone play is the presence of a pink zone. So you'll take a look here at cover 3 sky on the right of the screen. Those are purple curl flats. But if you take a look here on the left of the screen on this page, we've got these light pink zones in cover 3 buzz seam. Now you could choose buzz seam, you could choose a regular cover 3 seam, which utilizes the safety and the nickel corner in the match zone that we're going to be utilizing. In fact, I would recommend to have your best coverage corners in these light pink zones because they are basically the secret ingredient of this tip. I just want to say, if you're enjoying today's video, make sure you guys drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you guys hit that notification bell so you're notified of my uploads Monday through Friday with short form and long form content. All right, so let's say that we're coming out in a coverage like cover 3 cloud, which is a zone based play. And maybe we're facing somebody out there that likes to run maybe just a little bit of a street corner flat combo. And what's great about this particular coverage is, yeah, we can do a pretty good job with being able to guard this particular route combo that you see right here from this particular zone. We snap the ball, you're gonna see the streak is going to, do a pretty decent job of running off the coverage, but it's a tight throw, right? And what a lot of players will actually do is they'll say, you know what, I don't want to deal with, this cover 3, or let's say that we're in a cover 3 sky. They're going to motion this guy out on a streak. They're going to put this guy right here, Kittle, on a corner route, and they're going to run off the coverage to a point where there is 0 chance of your outside deep zone responding. So in that previous example, there was no motion. In this example, they motion out, B runs off the coverage, and now we're fitting this throw in on the sideline for a possession catch and a first down. And you can't have that. That's called a runoff route or a pull route. So again, you see right here, Christian Kirk is on the vertical pull route. His job is to clear out Jalen Mills, opening up this underneath pattern that breaks in behind him on the sideline. Now, Mills is a premier zone corner in Madden Ultimate Team. He's able to turn around and make a decent break on the ball, but it's simply not enough to prevent us from the toe tap and getting in bounds for a first down. So basically what I'm saying is we can't depend on Jalen Mills. He is in conflict. So what we're going to do is we're going to leave that cover three match that we had in our audibles as a check when our opponent goes to motion. So let's say that we're in our cover three sky. If they don't motion anybody outside, we like what we're in, right? We're in a good spot. However, the moment we see our opponents put that cursor on Christian Kirk, that should put us on high alert that this motion is coming. So when they go to this motion, they have now created a situation where we can audible into this cover three match play. The seam flat defender is responsible for the slot receiver in a spread twins formation, which is what this formation now is because of the motion out of Christian Kirk. So now that we check into this coverage, when they motion out, we will get a matching behavior out of our seam flat if that inside receiver goes to the corner. This ideally puts us in a spot where now, even if the outside receiver runs that vertical pull route, you have this player manned up on the corner route, preventing it from getting open on the sideline. So this utility is great for any type of meta offense where maybe it's a tight formation and they motion out to create a spread formation on one side, or maybe it's a bunch formation where they motion across to create twins. How many times have we seen where a player in bunch goes ahead and motions somebody across, puts them on a corner route, and uses a streak to the outside? This is essentially the same type of route combo we just broke down out of tight. So the only real difference is that we motioned a player across the formation to create twins that is spread out in the bunch, as opposed to motioning out from a compressed tight set in the previous example. The route combo is still the same, with the outside player pulling the zone deep, allowing us to throw the ball in underneath behind on the sideline. So the next time you see your opponent go to something like this, this is where you keep that cover three seam handy for you, because what's going to end up occurring is they go to this adjustment, and now you're in a position where you can't really throw it in on the sideline. And that includes the short side corner, which it's a lot harder to fit that in, even if you have a route ability. So again, I'll show this to you with a streak corner in a flat. You check into your cover three seam. They snap the ball. This player goes to run that corner route. You see that there's not a lot of room to fit this in. Again, short side streak corner is one of the most meta route combos players tend to run. This is where I want to remind you from a video a couple weeks ago that we do have ways, if your opponent does have a route ability, to shut off slot corner routes. So keep in mind, again, I'm a big time match player. And one of the things that players still don't understand about match this year is that inside safeties in match actually do a really, really good job of preventing light up animations of short in elites. So say somebody is motioning and they have a route ability, or they're running this concept to the wide side of the field, and you're giving up separation, the seam flat defender just can't hang. This is an example also where, versus a more spread out version of a streak corner, you actually can still play match, and you'll note that Kittle is not going to burn Atwater in this example, even though Atwater was the one matching him in the seam flat in the previous example. I know it sounds weird, but it's just the way the game is coded. So you see here, Kittle goes to run that corner route, and Atwater's there for a guaranteed interception. So keep this in the back of your mind too. You know, if it's somebody that maybe has a route ability on the slot that's running that route and the seam flat's getting cooked, maybe check into a quarters call when somebody does this. However, be advised that you can't just straight up come out in quarters, because there are definitely one play touchdowns that we've talked about that a lot of players still don't realize exist in this game. So that streak out of the verticals play, you can't come in quarters and not make adjustments. It's more one of those on the fly, you check into it, an audible situation type deals. So again, keep that in the back of your mind. You got to be careful. We teach you guys all these things on Gridiron. So, you know, I'm kind of jumping between cover three match, cover four quarters here, but they actually do a really good job of being paired together, which brings me to my final thought. We talked about the base align way back at the beginning of the video. If you guys don't base align, so again, we are on default base align settings. If you guys don't base align in your defense and you check into, like say somebody motions across and you check into that cover three seam, you see how this walks down and gives away your tell. So now your opponent sees this, they look at this, they say off coverage on the outside, single high, this is cover three or cover one, and that changes how they set up their route combo 100%. As opposed to, again, what we have done the whole video, which is keep the base align and nobody has moved at all. So keep that in the back of your mind. Base align, very, very important for this tip. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. A little coverage seminar, keeping you guys on top of the most popular metas, how to adjust to them. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Really love y'all. Seriously, this channel has been exploding over the last 2 weeks. I really cannot believe it. You know, this is supposed to be the dead period, right? You guys are keeping this game alive. I appreciate you guys allowing me to do content for you. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Until then, this is Ann. Get in the lab and good luck.